Так, человек, которого повесили за вашим окном. Вы видели расправу?
I'm
с ним,
sorry to
да?
say I did, officer.
Это тот самый прорыв, которого мы так ждали. Курага, это же чудно.
Easy, detective. No need to jump to conclusions.
Это всяко лучше, чем то, что у нас и так есть. Так,
Because I did it?
что вы видели?
Officer, it's very difficult to describe what I saw that night. It was so surreal to me, like in a play.
What do you mean, like in a play?
It was just so strange. I could barely comprehend what... I was on the balcony when it happened, getting some fresh air. I remember that first they came in, carrying what looked like a body. And then I saw all the surrounding windows go dead, one by one. That's when I understood. I should not be seeing this.
Sounds like the victim was unconscious, or at least incapacitated. Well done, detective.
Мгм. И кто же они?
I couldn't see their faces well, and there were quite a few of them. But they were very loud and very Martinez.
О,
Let's just say that the laboring classes can get rather expressive with their profanity.
сколько же их
I
было?
couldn't tell you exactly. Less than 10. Maybe 8?
О,
The lieutenant sends you a sharp look at the mention of that number.
так, среди них был здоровяк.
That's a giant you're describing. No, they were all quite human, as far as I could tell.
После.
I went back inside.
Were you able to see anything from inside?
Officer, the yard was pitch black. There was nothing to see, but I could still hear their voices.
Это были
They
мужчины
were
или
threatening
женщины?
to kill all men, I presume. But again, I couldn't see very clear.
Национальность?
I believe they were mostly white, though I believe I saw 2 Aeropagites among them. And I am quite certain that one spoke with a Mesk accent.
После
Well,
чего?
that's the strangest part, officer. Nothing happened. It was oddly quiet for a public lynching.
Что значит ничего не случилось? Парня линчевали.
Eventually, their shouts died down, and that was all. There were no gunshots, no celebratory shouts, no anything.
Почему вы не вызвали РГМ?
You're right, of course. That is what one is supposed to do in such circumstances. I was simply in shock. I'm afraid I don't have anything else to add.
About what time was all this happening?
All I can say is that it was late.
Вы даже на часы не
My
смотрели.
watch. Yes, now I remember. It was 30 minutes past midnight, give or take.
Позвольте мне прояснить, самого повешения вы в итоге не видели.
No, I didn't see the corpse until the following day.
It seems this wasn't the break you were hoping for.
Так.
I think we have everything we need. Thank you for talking to us, Mr. Villedroit.
Of course, anything I can do to assist the RCM.
Так, человек, которого повесили за вашим окном, был и заранее.
Oh,
Да.
that's unusual. The Oraniers are not the kind of people you associate with heinous crimes. It's such an upstanding and responsible country.
Я бы про него так не сказал.
Well, certainly one cannot rely simply on generalizations. That would go against our commitment to individual freedoms. And, of course, any loss of life is a tragedy. So tell me, what have you learned about the victim?
Так, ну тут можно практически по порядку идти.
Ah, what a shame. A man cut down in his prime earning years.
Так, Ленин настоящее его имя, это было его nom de guerre.
Ah, he was a soldier.
Наемник.
Aha! A condottiere. Yes, it's hard to believe they still exist.
Так. Он любил хвастаться своими военными преступлениями, закинувшись наркотой.
Extremely distasteful behavior. I cannot condone either drug use or needless boasting. Suffice it to say, that is not how we do things in Sur-la-Clé.
That's because they're all a bunch of squares who like to sit around with their fingers up each other's assholes.
Действительно, это был парниша из бедной семьи.
It's the responsibility of any good welfare state to take care of its most unfortunate citizens.
Его превратили в бешеную машину для убийства.
They gave him a successful career.
А,
What else has your investigation uncovered?
так. Это был ублюдок и убийца.
Officer, you shouldn't speak ill of the dead.
Так. Это было неуважение с моей стороны.
Anything else?
Что-нибудь еще? Уволившись со службы, он устроился наемником в частную военную компанию Кренель.
That is extremely unfortunate. Yes, it's regrettable that this practice has a history in certain Occidental nations, even highly advanced members of EPIS. But rest assured, the Orangese government has committed to producing a timetable that would lay out a path to transition to a professional army. Soon, there'll be no need for mercenaries like this poor man.
И когда же состоится этот переход?
Oh, it's hard to put an exact date on it. I believe the proposal for the timetable is due to be completed around 60 or 61.
Это же 10 лет.
See? That's the kind of progress that the moral intern makes possible.
Да. Thanks. Работая наемником, он убил немало людей на Семенинских островах, проявляясь интересы иранского
A
бизнеса.
great shame, yes. Colonialism is a dark specter in Oranye's past.
В чем тут прошлое? Это все происходит прямо
Which
сейчас.
is why the work of the moral intern is so critical. It is our great bulwark against another century of bloodshed.
Мгм.
As I said, the loss of any life is terrible, no matter who the person may have been.
Допустим.
I do hope you're able to bring his killer or killers to justice.
Да, мы это
We
пытаемся
must
сделать.
show that the rule of law still applies, even in Rivachol.
Вы можете рассказать о своем друге?
Ah, my friend. My friend is a good young man. His family immigrated here from Kedra, and life has not been easy for him. But he understands the importance of education. He has taken his future into his own hands, and that's all that matters.
Что такое кедра?
Kedra is a candidate member of APIS. But, between you and me, their potential membership is a more contentious issue.
Это к чему?
That it's never going to happen. They entered negotiations in 21, and it's been pending ever since.
Так, что за эпис?
EPIS is a very special program developed by the moral intern to support certain Occidental nations. It began as a unified system of weights and measures, which proved to be a wild success. Nothing but kilograms and centimeters as far as the eye can see.
Тонкие уколы.
God, yes.
Oh, okay.
Sweet standardization. The backbone of rationality and commerce.
It was such a wild success that we expanded it into an economic union for the processing of steel. Another success. And between you and me, the moral intern feels emboldened by this success. Emboldened to take EPIS to the next level.
Да, но что это означает?
Why? It stands for progress and stability, like the moral intern as a whole.
Нет, буквы.
It's been such a wild, extraordinary success thus far. We are very excited to take it to the next
Ты
level.
меня вообще слышишь?
A supranational political alliance. The United States of Occident.
И что там будет так, как здесь?
You mean Revachol? No. It's going to have transparent democracy.
А Леша войдет в это?
It's one day going to be a candidate member of EPIS, sure.
Except that candidate members never become full members, do they?
Разве вы не говорите, что кандидат никогда не становится полноправным членом?
No, no. Candidate members do become members. Why do we even have the whole system in place if they don't? It just takes time. Time and evaluation. But we were talking about my friend here, not politics.
Как вы сдружились?
How did any of us become friends? Bad things happening on the insulin Peninsula? Oil platforms ablaze in the night? Civil wars lasting for years? Finally, the international community is forced to step in.
Вы рассказываете нам, как коалиция оккупировали
One
ваш...
of the wonders of democracy is that everyone is allowed to have his own opinion. And not just allowed, encouraged even. Have you ever tried debate?
Чего?
Debating. You should consider joining a debating society for adults. I hear they're oodles of fun. I used to have a flyer for one. But now that I start thinking of it, it was for an improv class anyway. It's this funny theater thing, you know? Very creative. Helps relieve stress.
Какой же он душный. Вы так и не сказали мне, кто он такой.
Sorry. Who?
Ваш друг, курильщик с балкона. Мы как раз о нем говорили.
But I told you, officer. He's a bright young man here to pursue his education. Education is the foundation of our future, especially the arts. It is a cornerstone of our civilization.
Но звать-то его как?
Officer, you have to understand. I can't give you his personal information. I'm sure you have your own methods and databases, right? Please don't put me in this situation.
Значит, вы можете сказать, что он изучает
He's
искусство.
deeply enmeshed in the study of fine arts, yes.
Какого рода?
He's a truly free spirit. He likes all the arts. Perhaps graphic design, printmaking, who knows? The world is open wide for a talented youth like him.
Что ты делаешь в этой квартире?
I'm just enjoying the view.
Каким видом? На улице темно.
Listen.
The baby is crying in the neighboring apartment.
No, listen.
Ну,
The Insulindian Bay.
и что?
This place used to be a luxury accommodation before the revolution. Apartments, of course, were much bigger then. A few walls have been added here and there, leaving some of the tenants without a private bathroom or a kitchen. But the million real view stays. You can't take that away.
Я
My
спрашивал о
friend
друге.
comes and goes. I'm sure you've seen him around. He's a busy bee.
Да.
A busy bee. What an odd choice of words.
Ага. Такс.
How did any of us become friends?
О чем вы говорите? Почему тут дружба?
Bad
Друзьями
things
так не
happening on the
становятся.
Insulindian. Au contraire. It's how millions of people end up where they are. Meeting the people they meet. It's how I came here. And my friend, too.
Понятно.
I'm all ears, officer.
Нет уж.
A moment, officer. Do
Какой?
you have everything you need from me? I'm afraid we won't have the chance to speak again once you leave.
Почему это?
It's against diplomatic best practices for an official in my position to be discussing murders with local militiamen. And I'm pressed for time. After you leave, I should be leaving as well.
Ах,
That's
жалость
not the
какая.
real reason he's so apprehensive. Men in his position shouldn't be seen loitering around in underprivileged young men's apartments in the middle of the night.
Так. Спасибо за
Of course.
предупреждение.
I'm sorry I couldn't be the break you were looking for. Good luck with the investigation.
Да, да. Такс, что мы имеем? Ну, поговорить-то мы с ним поговорили. А дальше что? Так, пролетарка, птица, тип, с которым никуда. Эти деньги, ну, они у нас есть. У нас информация о серийном татуировке жертвы, кто служил нарушителя. Эти шлюз. Такс, такс. Что мы можем здесь вкачать? Может быть, авторитет или визуальный анализ? А может быть, внутренняя империя? Я вот тут физиологию почти не качаю, ни капли. Восприятие у меня нормально. Такс. Ну-ка, почти на максимуме. Вкачаю риторику, что ли, на всякий случай. Да. Так, карта. Карта. А что мне? Что-то мне показывает же. Легендарно. Скуну. Карта на стене, повешенный. Ну, с повешенным-то я уже не поговорю, он, это, скажите, я скажу. Он уехал. Статуя всадника. Зачем мне с ней разговаривать? Витрина с безделушками. И вся? А вот. Машина для производства мороженого мне добавилась. И про птичку. И немыслимое с Титом. Угу. Ну это я все понял. Столько хлама мне дали. Логику можно поднять. Внушения, правда, никакого, но у меня его... А у меня его и нету. Драма. 100 плюс к электрохимии дает. Что ж, тоже интересно. А куда оно вставится-то? О, как! Трепет и полицейскую волну, правда, убирает. Я, может быть, не самый внушительный, но тем не менее. Хоть башка мокнуть не будет, я не знаю. Можно, конечно, оставить электрохимию, но зачем она? Меня и мой плащ устраивает. А электрохимию можно было бы поднять перчатками без пальцев. Хотя у меня техника. Перчатки от Фаун серии Ультра. Пара пальцев снажены нескользящими защитными вставками на ладони. Я бы мог эти перчатки взять, чтобы поднять эту штангу?
You have acquired the hat. Keep it, officer. It looks
Да.
good on you.
Что можете рассказать?
My
Что-нибудь?
my friend. What about Kedra is a
Что
candidate
Kedra?
that it's never going to happen.
Там
It's
как?
warm. It's also known for its mandarin trees and dust storms from Supramundi. Kedra's an emerging market, but it still has a long way to go. Maybe that's why my friend's menage decided to. I'm all ears, officer.
Понятно.
Of course. I'm sorry.
А он мне ничего больше интересного не скажет. На часах, тем не менее, 22:09. Что ж, ладно. Мне так нравится, игра во время загрузок говорит, мол, хочешь сделать что-то в потаёнку от лейтенанта Кицураги? Смойся, пока он спит. Ну, вообще, в принципе, концепт реальный, но не самый. Так, что мне... Можно было бы пробовать слетать в этот, скажите, я скажу, в эту качалку. Не вижу какого смысла тягать эту штангу сейчас. Но, в принципе, почему бы и нет. Туда лезть еще надо. Через книжный. Так, а люди-то уже, между прочим, расходятся. Ну, в принципе, ничего страшного. У нас есть этот потайной проход. Так, классе все еще стоит. Ну, он допоздна наговорил, по-моему. Будет торчать. Так, Рыжикс. Что, Тили?
Fuck does Kuno care?
Кто такой Куна?
Kuno's Kuno. You already know that slow shit.
Ну, конечно.
Kuno thinks you have brain damage or some shit. Kuno cares.
Kuno, stop being nice to the pig! Step away from Kuno, fat-ass creep!
Ease off, see. Don't be telling Kuno what Kuno can do. What else you want, pigman?
Тазавр.
Kuno doesn't fucking care.
Есть что-то в этом дурачке такое. А? Типа муниципалитета Ревашоля. Окей.
The trash container stand. The smell of rotten food rises to greet you. You see soggy cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste.
Так. Здесь вряд ли
The
что-то
container
новое.
sounds a muffled gong.
Слушайте, я практически этот... Так вот со стороны посмотришь на моего мента. Этот Рейден из Mortal Kombat. Просто Камалони начать пускать. Одно радует, там не было никаких проверок при разговоре с этим чудиком. То есть, если там еще были какие-нибудь проверки, которые можно было бы завалить совершенно спокойно, это был бы вообще ахтунг абзац. Подожди, я... Бескул этот шкафчик. По-моему, да. Нет. Безумная майка в сеточку. Круто. Очень даже круто.
Yes?
Холодильник не хочешь открыть?
This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner and an electric freezer. The ice around it slowly melting.
Я предполагаю, что нужно просто дождаться следующего дня, чтобы лед просто-напросто оттаял. Когда все будет более-менее нормально. Так, а я хотел сгонять попробовать в качалку проверить свою теорию. Есть кто живой? Будем надеяться, что здесь никого не появится пока. Мы тут бегаем. Такс. Кстати, я не смогу теперь пройти в этот... в магазин... в книжный. Так как уже глубокая ночь и все спят. Можно было бы попробовать... Этот, скажите, я скажу. Чисто на грубую силу взять. А? Что-то только что появилось. Что-то появляется и исчезает. Непонятно. Эмпатия, внушение. Эквилибристика минус. Крутяк. Ну чё, давай попробуем поднять так.
The barbell waits patiently on the
Oh.
floor, like a dog for its master.
Равные шансы. Осталось
The
только
barbell waits
совершить неравный
patiently
шанс.
on the floor, like a dog for its master.
О, курага, смотри. Ха! Хопа! Ой, ой-ой-ой, что происходит?
Conjuring up an inhuman amount of strength, you raise the barbell up in the air. Your biceps tremble, but you're a savage. This is a children's game.
Хоба!
A warm wave of accomplishment washes over your head as you drop the barbell to the floor.
На-на!
For a moment, it feels like you're strong enough to succeed at anything you ever set your mind to.
Вот это
Hey.
да.
But you're still in a ghost house. What if someone heard this? What if they know you're here?
Так кто узнает?
Good
об этом?
technique.
Технично, да. Дал? Ким? Вот так вот надо. А что там еще какой-то
The
звук
barbell
есть?
waits patiently.
А, не то что. А то моральный дух восстановил. Хоть что-то. Ладно. Че я тут? Нет, не это. Извините мне мои нормальные перчатки. Но шляпа мне, конечно, нравится. Пошли. Не, можно попробовать, конечно, ломануться, но я говорю. Дверь обведена белым, значит, никак нельзя. Наш магазин через дорогу закрыт. Может, утром? И что мы здесь, ночевать, что ли, будем? Не, в принципе, реально, но... Это же дом с призраками. Какой ночевать? С ума сошли. Нет, наш путь изящен и обратен. Ну что, у нас единственное, что остается на сегодняшний день, наверное, так это только поговорить с Харди и компанией. Что-то я сомневаюсь, что они мне что-нибудь полезное скажут. Бумбокс можно врубить. Можно врубить психику и моторику. Почему бы и нет? Предметы, одежда. Можно было нарядиться в халатик с безумной майкой. Они бы это, скорее всего, не оценили, но, с другой стороны, а волнует меня их мнение. Так. Я уж испугался, что они сбежали. Реванш.
It's you again. What is it?
Чего надо? Хочу посмотреть процент. 28. Я нашел человека, который видел повешение.
A witness? You ain't got shit. The locals would never come to you with this. That's just contactis, Titus. Next, he's gonna tell you one of us already rolled on the others, and is in witness protection.
А мой свидетель не местный.
Well, let's hear it then. Who is your mystery
Есть шанс,
fella?
что я подставлю курильщика с балкона, но...
This goes without saying, but nonetheless, don't give out his name.
Чиновник.
Yeah, right. Like we wouldn't know if an MI plant was in our town. Nice try, right?
MI is short for Moral Intern. Moral Intern is short for Moralist International, the coalition that runs Revachol.
I've seen this shit a million times, Titus. Fly fishing. They are desperate. Tell us, Copper, what wacky claims did he make?
Так, что же он мне такого сказал? Сказал, что сцена выглядела как сюрреалистичный спектакль. Видел двух людей. Ариопгюбе происхождения и одного мексиканца. Мескийца. Ну, тихо.
It's you assholes that feel the need to go around like a fucking brass band. The Hardy Boys are dead silent.
Угу.
Yeah, it's like they put cowbells on you before they send you to the streets. What's with the cowbells, policeman?
They're avoiding having to answer this question.
Ну, мне представляется, что вы пили и пели линчевательные песни чего? За скорбное молчание это.
We were drinking, weren't we, guys? I hit the bottle hard. I was drunk as fuck.
Right, I'm convinced, Glenn. Nothing off here. Just a regular hanging.
Bullseye. Glenn looks around uncomfortably. The lieutenant hit a nerve.
Ой, как нехорошо вырвалось-то, да? Свидетель видел двух людей.
Arabagite? Boss, I think he's trying to say me and Theo.
Well, yeah. What is confusing you? Eugene, Theo, and Elaine were there too. I already told you. We were all there.
Свидетель сказал, что сцена выглядела как сюрреалистичный спектакль.
Those flaccid MI cocks with their culture language. Everything's a surreal play or sublime whatever. Doesn't mean anything.
It means the whole scene was long and drawn out, like it was from a film.
What is this fella's problem? Sorry we didn't make it more action-packed. It wasn't the first thing on our minds, you see?
Shanky, it's Shanky, right? I thought there's something wrong about the lynching story. Now I know there was.
You don't know shit.
I know you are lying, Shanky.
Some witness. I pulled the same shit. Came up with some shit, then went and said it to people. Get a reaction. Don't have to go to cop school to try that.
You don't have to go to school for shit. I never went to school, and I'm doing great.
Заметно.
You're doing a hell of a job, man.
So much bluster to hide the fact that they're uncomfortable with you having this info.
42%. Я сохранюсь, урод. Ну, теперь практически 50 на 50. Смотри, сейчас мы их расколем. Ну или не сейчас. Через 2 попытки,
It's
через
you
3,
again.
через 5.
What is it?
Я пришел протестировать силу твоих яиц.
Convince Titus he's being manipulated. You should know by now. Titus Hardy will never falter.
Так. Убедить Тита в том, что им манипулируют. Пора бы уже понять. Тит недоступен. В отличие от одного из его парней.
Just remember, it's about more than Glasia. It's about these men and Martinez. Their district. Their responsibility. Outside in the evening light, ruined and old, shadows lengthen on the pavement. A distant gunshot.
Выстрел. Ну что ж, тогда дело закрыто. Поехали по домам, Ким. А?
He'll get it.
Он
Go
понял.
on.
Запиши, Ким. В Мартинезе людей убивают просто за то, что они не понравились местным.
Got it. Kill you because they don't like you. All because...
Потому что за нами жила тёлка, потому что ты иностранец. Что ты не понравился, твой наниматель. Well, тёлка.
Bring that up one more time, and you won't get to write that report.
Пиши, Ким.
Yes, I understand, Alain. That's your name, right, Alain? You'll kill us. That's what they do in the Wild North.
В диком серии. Тебя просто вешают, как в темные века. Устраивают труп на потеху. Тебя бьют по голове, со спины подвешивают на веревке и возвращаются к пьянству. Ну, цены вытаскиваете их назад. Ну, хотя бы ссыте. Всем насрать. Второй
It
вариант.
wasn't that. It wasn't... We didn't hit him, okay?
А что такое?
That's it.
Wah.
That's the weak one. You flushed him out. Now go in for the...
Officer, you will be next if you don't shut up.
He's onto you. He knows what you're trying to do.
Он понял, что ты делаешь. Так. Если не то что? Меня тоже убьешь? Ни за что? Ким?
The lieutenant has put down his notebook. His hand is resting on his holster.
Правильно.
He what? What does that mean?
Так. Значит что, Тео?
No, I'm not gonna do it. I'm too old for a shot like that now.
Слыхал, Ангус?
Suddenly, there's an awful ringing in your ears. Your body temperature spikes.
Меня убили, что
You're
ли?
burning all over with fear. To your right, you sense the air move. The lieutenant draws his firearm.
О боже, только не договорись, что я довел ситуацию до того, что Кицураги
You
убили.
only manage to perform one more movement. An instinctive jerk to your left. Then, no sound. No one screams. It's impossible to say where it comes from.
О боже. Полицейские продолжают погибать. Нас убили.
More dead cops. Sad news from the district of Martinez. as the bodies of 2 police officers are found floating in the canal. It is believed the officers were pursuing a murder investigation, but got caught in the dock workers' strike and were gunned down under unclear circumstances. Such needless loss of life is truly tragic, a local union leader, Everett Clare, commented, and added that although the event is truly horrid, we can expect similar incidents to follow if right-wing vigilantes are allowed to run around uncontrolled and try to wriggle their way into well-organized neighborhoods.
Шикарно. Так, это не то, как я предполагал.
Convince Titus he's being manipulated. You should know by now. Titus Hardy will never falter. Just remember, outside in the evening light, he'll get it.
Got it. Kill you because they don't like you. All because...
Или потому что... Так, допустим, потому что им не понравился твой намет. Выберем другой ответ.
Goddamn right. This is Union Town. You work for the company, we will kill you.
Fuck, Dennis. We don't kill you if you work for the company. Half the harbor works for the company.
Так, у них пошел раскол в
Work
этот
for the
раз.
wrong company, and they execute you.
Так, вот этот
It
вариант.
wasn't that. It wasn't...
Да.
That's it.
Вот он.
Officer, you will be next if you don't shut up.
He's onto you.
Так,
He
теперь
knows
посмотрим
what
на
the
Киева.
lieutenant has put that. What? What does that mean?
Так, если я не заткнусь, по-моему, я обращался к Тео. Вернуться, давайте к первому.
We didn't kill him. We didn't even hang him. He was dead when...
Shut up, Angus.
Опа! Опаньки!
Eddie! Say one more thing to the cops and I'll...
Dennis, stand down, or I'll beat your head in. Theo, take your hand off the belt. This isn't 31. I've got this under control.
The room falls quiet. So quiet you can hear Angus wheeze.
Ну давай.
I left it home. I can't get it. I'm too fucked. I'm sorry.
О, господи.
Why are you so fucking fat,
Что ж ты
Angus?
такой жирный?
Now it's all pointless. Because of you. You wasted my time. I told you, Titus. I told you just give her up.
Lizzie, your help is no longer needed here. Go tell Everard.
Иди отсюда.
Fine. I'll tell him. After a long walk along the coast.
Она что, сейчас пойдет и убьется, что ли? Нет, подожди, девица.
You're in. He's all yours. Questions.
Так. Ким?
The lieutenant gives a smile only you can see.
Так, теперь что у нас? Если Класси его не убила, зачем этот подлог? Так, кто тогда убил наемника? Есть какие-то улики? То есть вы его не убивали, он уже был мертв.
He nods.
Кивает. Молодец.
You hanged the corpse to cover up the real cause of death. What was it?
We're not sure. Probably a bullet. The wound was difficult to see.
Надо же, ты умеешь разговаривать как адекватный человек.
The coroner and his assistant are wrapped in blue. Hands covered in blue gloves. Mouths covered by blue masks. Bodies by blue aprons. The coroner wipes his brow, scalpel still in his hand. Get the light. Shine it in his mouth, he tells his assistant. The coroner squats to better see the light illumines the
Мы что-то
darkness
упустили с тобой,
inside.
Ким?
Well, shit. Can't blame them for missing that. Get the saw, Alan. This just got fun.
Because the girls asked us to. They were in some shit.
Девчонки?
Girls plural. There's another girl. 2 of them. Take note of this. They'll probably say more about her later.
Did she kill him?
Она его убила.
Cop, I have no idea. The girl says she didn't.
Девчонка?
He doesn't think she did. Or at least he hopes she didn't.
Что вы
Class
за
J
ночью?
came down. She seemed really out of it. Drugged up, even more than usual. Bug-eyed and gurning, you know? Not in a fun way. It looked like she'd redosed after something went down. I've seen that look before. She was scared. I knew someone had died. I've done this job for 10 years. I've seen it before. It's the politician in the motel room with the dead hooker scenario. Only in reverse.
Good analogy, boss.
You don't get to talk yet, Shanky. You're still on the bench. You keep taking it easy too, Angus. We went upstairs. Sure as day the Merc was dead. There was a bullet hole through the window. Fucking dirty sheets and bottles everywhere.
Окно, которое заменили.
He means they've been fucking.
Tibbs patched the window. And the corpse. Yeah.
Tibbs?
Yeah. He's my brother.
Ну ладно.
He's in the window replacement business.
Такс. Если классив у него, зачем этот подлог?
You may have noticed our girl's in some shit of her own.
Она говорит, что у нее зуб... На нее зуб у кого-то из заранее. Она мне не объяснила.
Yeah. She wouldn't. She's fucked if she shows up on police radar. They're powerful. Connected to the moral intern. She's clearly afraid for her life. Says if she showed up in your systems, she'd be ghosted away.
Fine.
And why would you help someone like that? By taking on a murder?
Why would I? I guess we abide all sorts of runaways and losers here. It's a Martinez thing.
Так, кто тогда убил наемника? Есть какие-то улики?
Not yet. Just some ideas. She says the shot came from outside, behind the window somewhere.
А сам что
I'm
думаешь?
thinking someone's past caught up with him. Either hers or his.
Hers, you mean?
I mean the people after Klausya. Maybe the shot missed. Maybe it was meant for her.
I like that. Been thinking the same thing myself.
А его, прошлом у тебя тоже какие-то
Mine
соображения?
too. One of those mercenary buddies of his could have done it. They got guns, training, years of bad blood, probably. Or it could have been someone else from Crenell. Tell you what I'd do. Check out the coast for vantage points. Maybe consult with a ballistics buddy of mine. That's what I'd do. If I wasn't too busy doing this clown dance with you.
He's calm now. Threw all that turmoil away and became himself again. These theories, not bad. Don't buy either one, but still, this guy's not as dumb as he looks.
Так, кто вообще придумал его повесть? Чья такая чудесная?
Me too.
Я выбрал... Я что-то не выбирал, но да, в принципе.
In a manner of speaking.
Remember the two girls? He may be talking about the other one.
Ты сказал при помощи...
That's right. It was her idea to hang him. I liked it. For political reasons. It sent a good message.
Восьмой харты, которого нет. Это дорогой.
The big guy turns to Glenn, who's about to say something. The blonde shuts his mouth before a word escapes.
I'll say it again. All the Hardy Boys are right here, cop. That woman is just affiliated with the Hardy Boys. You don't know her, anyway.
Можешь что-нибудь сказать?
Nope. You're not getting to her. It's Klausya you want to talk to.
Понятно. Кто-то...
In a minute.
Remember the two girls?
That's right.
Все ответы варианты.
The big guy, the blonde.
I'll say it again. All the Hardy Boys are right here, cop.
Знаешь, нет
That
ничего
woman
такого
is just
дурного.
affiliated. We're Hardy Boys. And that's it.
Ну, ты будешь...
Blessed in there.
Ладно, спасибо за разговор.
You do that. Hey, cop. Before you go,
Suddenly, the wind picks up outside. You hear it rattling the large windows in their frames. It carries newspapers, circles the whirling in rags in a warm column.
she, Klausya, came to Martinez to hide. Many of us did. This is where you wash up when there's nowhere left to go. The Union takes you in. Now, she refused that protection. But
Но ты все равно пришел, чтобы мы ее не арестовывали.
that's right. If we didn't take care of the people who end up here, this place would just be a couple of rooms and some cargo containers.
We'll take that into account.
Надо же. Они умеют адекватно разговаривать. Так. Найти да потребуйте у классе объяснений по поводу истории, рассказанной парнями. Так. Ну что ж, у нас в принципе еще есть время. Она же говорила, что она там до 23. Так что шнели на крышу. Через лифт. Ну что ж, здравствуй еще раз, классе. У нас новые вопросы.
It's always good to see you.
Something in her demeanor has changed. She's tired, consigned to her fate, to being here with you and what's to come.
I understand.
Понимаешь? Кажется, вы не удивлены.
I knew there was a chance you'd get them to tell you. It's what you do. You're the police. For what it's worth, I'm sorry for wasting your time.
This is good. Clear the air first, between you two. Then move on to questions. Is it? Something is off here. Shush, I can't hear what she's saying.
Они там уже в моей башке перепираются.
If you knew we would find out eventually, why did you waste our time?
Because of the Hardys. I couldn't just dispense with them. They were only trying to help me. Out of the shit I'd gotten into.
Так, круто, этого объяснения мне достаточно.
I am not. There is more here, miss.
You're right. There's more.
Не все?
You answer to the coalition government, and by extension, the moral intern.
Теоретически.
Briefly glancing over her shoulder to the sea, as she's done time and time again.
Может, ее тоже сейчас застрелят у меня на глазах?
A grand expanse of water reaches over the bay and to the horizon, wine dark in the evening light.
Что там дальше?
The Pearl, the Muindi Isola, the Occident, and then Oranje, the old world.
Поэтому постоянно оглядываетесь, вы боитесь Морлентерна?
You share a database with them. You send people to their courts.
Это связано с тем, что вы были мисс Аранья 37?
I wish it did, but sadly no.
Так. Прямо она вызывает у вас дурные
I
воспоминания?
have people after me, and they have friends in the moral intern. Some are moral intern. If I show up in your records, officer, they will find me. They will.
What happens if they do?
They will kill me, sir. If you file my name, take me in for questioning, enter me into the moral intern mill, well, then I'm fucked. For nothing. This murder didn't have anything to do with me.
Actually, this murder did have a little to do with her.
Да. Что вы такого сделали, что вас теперь ищут?
It's not nice, but it's not illegal. Not here in Ravishol.
What exactly did you do?
Industrial espionage. I joined a business collective with the intention of betraying them. I did my job well enough to be asked to do it again. With a bigger company. The kind you really, really don't fuck with. I took their ledgers. 2 decades worth of accounting.
I need the names of the companies involved and who hired you.
The job was Lou's-Duin County Savings Bank. They sound small, but they're part of the Lou-Scott conglomerate. That was the second job. The first was some printer company. You wouldn't know them. As to who hired me for the job, I don't know. But they're after me too. Along with Lou Scott and their friends in the MI. Once you're done in the competitive intelligence circuit, you don't have allies. You're radioactive.
Lowe's Cap. These people engineer financial disasters in second world countries. The conglomerate also includes the Bank of Consecration, Airbird, and the popular Papalolo line of dairy products.
Yeah. Papa fucking Lolo wants to kill me.
Такс. Мне кажется, люди, совершившие гораздо более ужасные.
Sure. I'm not a war criminal, but it was bad. People lost their jobs. Good people, too, not just C-suite. A lot of people got hurt. But that's just more of my shit you shouldn't have to deal with.
Но если вы спросите,
You're
зачем вы
solving a
вызовете
murder
полицию?
because I'm an idiot.
Дура.
Which is an indicator of truth. Idiot. She's nothing of the sort.
Вы очень хотите увидеть нас в этом, но вы не дура. Я так не думаю.
You have to understand, the people around here, no one was making the call, and he kept rotting. And then they picked his clothes off, and that little fucker threw stones at him. He kept throwing stones at him for 3 days. I could hear the thud. Thud. So I called you. I hope with all my heart it's not the last thing I do in Ravichol.
Что произошло здесь в ту ночь, когда он погиб?
We were there. Together. In bed, I mean.
Что именно?
Okay. He was in a kneeling position. He had just entered me. I was on my back, looking at him. I heard the window behind me shatter, and I turned to look. There was a hole in the glass. I turned back to him. His eyes were looking through me, and his mouth was open, dumb. I could see.
A great pain moves through her, a dark and indefinite wave.
I knew he was dead, before he fell down on top of me.
Так, что произошло потом?
He was heavy. I pushed him off and he fell to the floor. There. He only had his boots on. I bit the pillow, not to scream, then ran downstairs. I waited for the second shot to come. For me. I thought there would be one. It never came.
She's forgotten about her cigarette. The butt has...
Oh.
Так, да уж, вот это жесткая история, конечно, у нее. Мне жаль, что вам пришлось через все это пройти.
So am I.
What time was this? When did it happen? It would help us if you could be as precise as possible.
11:30 to 12:15. I don't know the exact time. Around midnight.
It's okay. Were you inebriated?
Not as much as usual. He'd done a line, plus other things. I was drinking.
Wait. Titus said she was gurning her jaw off. Much more than usual.
Так, Дед говорит, что вы изрядно накачались.
Oh, yeah. I did one of his lines, just to clear my head.
Good thinking. Clear your head. You should clear your head.
Электрохимия.
Did you hear or see the shooter in the course of this?
No.
Что вы делали после
Nothing.
этого?
I was trapped. I was stuck in my room downstairs. I got some clothes on and crawled back up, drew the blinds. Blood was coming from his mouth. Not a lot. Just a little. He was still on the floor, slouched. I couldn't be there with him anymore. So I ran down and out of my room, into the hallway, down the stairs. I knew there would be people there.
Так, его могли убить люди, которые ищут вас.
That's the first thing that went through my head when I heard the glass break.
И что?
I thought they'd found me. They've killed him to punish me. All last week, I've tried not to talk to anyone or be seen with anyone, so they wouldn't be hurt. I've come to understand, however, this is paranoia. What happened didn't have anything to do with me.
Как бы то ни было, такой вариант нельзя исключать.
We can't go after loose cap. Not yet. There are other, saner leads.
I don't ask you to, Lieutenant. If there's one thing I know, it's that you'll get nothing from there.
Так, когда это случилось, вы слышали выстрел?
When he was shot? I may have. I don't know. I couldn't hear anything over the glass exploding.
The gunshot wasn't that loud. This is something to keep in mind when assessing the distance of the shot.
Так, что произошло после того, как вы сбежали вниз?
Sylvie was tending the bar. A lot of people were there. The Hardys were at the table in front of the stage. I think the Union box was full. Ruby was there too. They were having such a good time. I sat down and they all welcomed me. I didn't even have to say anything. Ruby knew something was wrong.
Руби, вторая девушка.
Ruby?
Чем мы продолжим? Кто такая Руби?
Ruby. You know, the leader.
Лидер?
The leader? Of what?
The Hardy Boys.
Ха.
Well, nominally, yes. Ruby's the one they go to when things happen, like things they need taken care of. She's the organizer.
Логично.
Well, Ruby said let's talk upstairs. I showed her the room. I've known these people since December. They know my situation, that I can't leave a paper trail. She said she'd take care of this. It's what she does, you know, take care of things. I helped her get the body to the bathroom. We used a belt to pull him up under the shower, to keep him upright.
To mislead you, they were tampering with the body.
To produce lividity, matching a hanging?
Yes.
Ха.
We completely missed the tampering. Looks like you got there in time. What was this, 20 minutes after death?
About 20, yes. Ruby explained it would make the blood... You know what he does.
Мгм. Так, что было позже?
Ruby went outside to talk to Titus and the boys. I was just looking at Lely in the bathroom. I had to put his clothes back on. His armor, too. It was tough, but I've seen him take it off and put it on many times. It took Ruby maybe half an hour to come back with Titus. I'd gotten him ready by then. They carried him out. I knew what they were going to do. Make it look like a hanging. Ruby said they would.
Чем вы занимались, пока они его вешали?
Ruby said to wait here. She also said I wouldn't see her for a while. That we should lay low or something. So I did.
Это Руби, где она сейчас?
I don't know. I haven't seen her since.
Так,
We will need to take this question to the Hardy Boys.
согласен.
Interesting. Why did this Ruby go through so much trouble to hide something someone else did? Look into this later.
Мгм. Когда заменили это стекло?
Last week. Angus and Titus's brother, I think he's called Tibbs, took care of it.
You should have another look at that window after this. Reconstruct the scene.
Внутри?
It's right
В ее
there.
спальне?
Yes, you see the glass sparkling out of the corner of your eye.
Хорошо. И последний вопрос. Это вы убили Лили?
What? Why would I put myself through this? Insanity. Get myself cornered like this. He wouldn't have died if it weren't for me. I know that. But I would never hurt him.
All kinds of crazy things happen when drugs are involved. Sweet,
Как
sweet
же она
drugs.
душит? Это электрохимия.
He was a serviceman. He must have had a gun
Да.
somewhere lying around. Now you guys suddenly have theories pouring out when they're obviously just stabs in the dark.
Это действительно. Если это было самооборона, то все в порядке. Так, те, кто находился внизу, пришла в голову безумная идея, что это вы убили его. Были темы составляющих ваших отношений. Возможно, не привели к тому исходу. Но наверняка где-то рядом лежало оружие. Вы воспользовались им?
No. I specifically asked him not to carry firearms when he was with me. He only had his stupid armor.
Stupid armor? Наркотики были неотъемлемой
What does that mean?
Do drugs make you aggressive?
No. People don't take drugs to kill each other. They take them to feel okay with each other. I thought you Ravishol people would be more enlightened on this. I'm sorry, officer.
Ничего
I'm
страшного.
under some stress here.
Если это была самооборона, то всё в
I did not kill him to defend myself from rape. I told you before. That wasn't what happened.
Тем, кто находился внизу, пришла в голову безумная идея.
I'm sad to hear that. They must have said it in some fit of frustration or under pressure. They couldn't have meant it. I've talked to them after it happened. No one has implicated me. Like what?
Так, ну полагаю, что вообще-то на самом деле у меня...
She
всё
nods
с ней.
silently. She doesn't even smoke. Just picks up the cold coffee and holds it in her hands. He's thinking,
Всё ли?
are we done here? Or maybe you should take her to the station for safekeeping. She lied to you.
Нет.
And she's... No, that won't be necessary. Just leave her alone. She's been through enough. She doesn't need this police brutality. Multiface, I'm beginning to doubt your judgment. Are you sure you're not sleeping on the post? You have to wake this one up with force if you want to continue pushing her.
Не, мы не будем его делать. Мы рассмотрим ее номер еще раз. Обязательно. Так, следы. Ты чувствуешь, как кто-то смотрит на тебя из стеклянной двери. Женщина. Ну да, логично, что она на меня сейчас палит.
This window is pristine on the inside, unlike the one next to it. Light from the desk. Golden light melts away into the blue, glassy darkness of your mind. In it are two neon-lit shapes, a man and a woman on the single bed. Like the witness said, the man is kneeling, the woman is on her back. It's the night of March 4th and a shot has just been fired. The man looks directly at the woman. The shot's possible directions converge in his mouth, a ray cast from somewhere outside, entering his brain. From the roof outside, location A prime. The glass fractures around the bullet hole. Shards face inwards like a corona behind the woman's back.
Так, рассмотреть призрачный силуэт.
The man does not know the bullet has entered his brain. He never will. Death comes faster than the realization. The ray cast from the man's mouth unravels into a fan of possible directions, all on the roof at first. The shot could have come from any of them. This is composite location A prime, most likely of the origin points.
Это как в Бэтмен Архам Сити, по-моему, там тоже такая была фича, что надо было остановить подобного рода убийства. Так, разве при этом снаружи не должно быть следов пороха?
There could have been. Then the rain and slush and wind washed it away. This was more than a week ago.
То есть я на 80% уверен, что стреляли с крыши.
72%. With a weapon that's good for medium range, like a rifle or sports pistol. This is a good short distance, but not too short. The perpetrator aimed with their back against the railing, or possibly kneeling for precision. This would explain why it only took them one shot. The lights were on in here. Outside it was dark. It was like shooting fish in an aquarium, a well-lit aquarium. The victim opened his mouth to let the bullet in. Neither of them would have seen anything outside in the darkness, too busy with their own bodies.
Мог ли стрелок находиться внутри комнаты? Ну это глупость какая-то. Так, есть какие-нибудь аргументы против точки А, расположенной на
None that you've found thus far, but that doesn't mean there aren't any.
Мог ли стрелок находиться
Point
внутри тогда?
X would contradict the woman's testimony, rendering the entire proposition void. These figures would be wiped out, detective.
Можно ли стрелять с другой точки, расположенной дальше?
That's a 28%, yes. In this model, the shot could have come from a greater distance. Nothing excludes the possibility. Should we extrapolate to include every possible point of origin in Martinez?
Увеличить радиус, чтобы учесть все возможные точки.
According to your map of the district, this shot could have come from a wide angle of locations, starting with the northern edge of the abandoned boardwalk, ending with an islet in the bay. Let's call them B prime.
Поточнее.
B prime for boardwalk, B double prime for Land's End, and B triple prime for the islet, detective. There may be smaller points in between, but those are too fine to zoom in on.
B1 на пирсе.
700 meters away. The likeliest of these B positions, 20% chance. A skilled sniper could have made the shot, provided he had a safe sniper's nest. Even with the light on inside, we're talking military training. At that distance, the perpetrator would have had to take wind direction into account.
Да, неплохо так. Что если B2?
1.2 kilometers away. The least likely of these positions. Let's say 3%. A truly skilled sniper could have done it. Possibly from a tent. No, too far-fetched.
B3 на островке.
1 kilometer away. An unlikely point of origin. Beyond the docks somewhere. On an islet in the Bay of Martinez, perhaps. There are islets there, badly charted as they may be. The shot would have been a small miracle. 5% likelihood. There is an extremely narrow field of view from the bay to the window, between Rue de Saint-Ghislain 10 and 33A. The angle would have been extreme, and access to the islets is questionable.
Доступ на островки, я не знаю. Тут есть куча лодок, между прочим. Ким, как думаешь, стрелявший мог находиться не на крыше, а дальше?
From where, precisely?
Скажем...
I see you have given this a lot of thought. Are those the locations you've singled out in addition to the roof? And what is the likelihood, in your opinion, that it came from a further distance?
Эти точки в дополнение... Точки на крыше, какого? Такс. Много меньше, чем вероятность выстрела с крыши. Я думаю, что нормально.
Okay, well, we should see if there is gunshot residue or sniper nests if we go down the coast. Rule these spots out one by one. It would be the diligent thing to do. Until then, personally, I'm going with the roof version. It fits the hidden path through the whirling. A simple hypothesis.
Допустим. Ну, тогда в номере Колосье нам делать нечего. Спускаемся. Мысль. Комната словно наполнена печалью, напоминает твой номер. Но здесь не все так страшно, как в моем номере, хотя тоже не самый лучший. Такс. Заставь Тита рассказать, где Руби. Определить, где был сделан выстрел. Та-дам. Та-надо-да. Мы спустимся. Надеемся, будем надеяться, что Тит все еще там. Все еще там? Или мне кажется, что там... Да, там уже пусто. Надо будет, так значит, вылавливать потом. Ну что ж. Так, я сомневаюсь, что у меня получится влезть на все эти пирсы, острова и так далее. Карта. То есть вот где-то, или отсюда откуда-то. Ну, тогда нам, получается, делать это больше нечего. Можно, конечно, было бы попробовать вылезти на уличку. Как бы Лизи там это не навернулась бы. Так. По побережью, говорите, да? Вот здесь вот что-нибудь есть? Заменилось? Как он языком с ними чесал? Нет. Вроде куда-то пошел, возможно, у него там были свои какие-то измышления, которые я не выслушал бы. Так. Ну, я сомневаюсь, что тут что-то есть. В таком случае. Так, назывался-то ломбард. Ну, по сути, завтра, то есть в среду, день третий, мы должны будем починить шлюз, и мы сможем открыть для себя новую зону и уже исследовать ее. Я думаю, для одного дня мы сделали более чем достаточно. Мы хоть узнали какую-никакую правду. Ну, возвращаемся тогда обратно. Ким, я надеюсь, в этот раз ты не потащишь меня на балкон обсуждать прошедший день. Такс. За сегодняшнее.
Can I help you? Got the 20 real?
Nah.
Good. You got the room for the night, but remember, you'll need another 20 real tomorrow.
Найдем, достанем. Не бзди. Так, все, курага. В этот раз ты меня действительно донимать не будешь. Увидимся утром, говорит. Ну что ж. Все, давай. Дуй. Все, спать.
The bed is still cold from the broken window, and not too inviting. But it's yours. You've earned it.
Я ее заслужил.
The bed is still cold from the wind blowing in from the broken window. The mattress creaks as you close your eyes and try your hardest to fall asleep.
Here we are again, my broken bud. Waves are coming, carrying you away. But you can't go. No, you have to stay. Always half aware of yourself.
Так, со мной начинает разговаривать мой мозг.
You're not cooperating, brother man.
Братишка, я тебе покушать принес.
It's your disgusting body. Even through your sleep you feel a vague discomfort suffusing it. Your belly and your sides unpleasantly tender. You wish you could curl up into a fetal ball of safety. But you cannot, because...
And there's a lot of it, ever present in your organs. It's like every one of them has their own nasty song to sing. That pain in your right side is your enlarged liver, by the way. As for your kidneys, you've really been compounding the damage lately. Every cell in your body is moaning in agony, asking, what did we ever do to you?
Ты на систему, подала. Толку-то в этом теле, если никто его не тешит. Простите, клеточки, это все я виноват.
Now, you're finally thinking about something other than yourself. Let's see how far that'll get you.
Такс, я художник. Денег-то раздавать нет, бухать мы не будем. Мне нужна медицинская помощь. Я пожинаю, что посеял, и перенесу боль с достоинством.
There's no dignity here. Only reflections of your body mass. Flashes of the day. You keep coming back to yourself in the mirror. But why? To admire all your accomplishments? You're just stuck here, in the half-world. Could try looking at other people. Really looking. But why would you want to start doing that?
Я все время присматриваюсь к людям. Они мне нравятся. Все люди предатели. Второе.
Sure you do. They're all so friendly, aren't they?
Ну, курага, по крайней мере.
Some of them are. Some of them are nice. Others are scared. At least they're interesting. Each one has a process just like yours, running in the space between their ears, full of secrets. People are beautiful, statuesque, parodies and tragedies of themselves. A great democracy of creatures.
What do you think you're doing right now? Coming to some greater awareness? Look at all these lights, blinking in and out of existence. Thoughts! You're just pretending that you're asleep, even to yourself, while the world goes on without you.
Ну хоть Мун в виде меня не разговаривает со мной же.
Let it. Let it.
Не пускай.
But it never seems to let you go, does it? Time to rise and wipe that shining sweat off as best you can. Gather your bearings. Rock and roll.
Ох, жизнь моя жестянка, да? Проснулся так проснулся. Так, берем. Или это это вот комната классия как раз таки. Ох, жопа, какая жопа мы с тобой оказались, Гэри. Ну что ж, в очередной раз мы прошли целый день. И на этом уже продолжим в следующий раз, дорогие зрители канала Союз.